Hello there, and welcome to Webisode 196, I believe. Today is Halloween, and so, of course, on a day like today, I think to myself, what are we going to do? What are we going to learn, And we're going to learn about the history of Halloween, of course. An industry that brings in about $5 billion a year in the United States, but the question is, where did it come from? And the reality is that it came from something called Samhain, which was an ancient harvest festival at the end of the Celtic year. So it marked the end of the summer and the beginning of basically, the winter, kind of when everything, died off. It was believed, spirits returned on this night to, damage crops and play tricks on the living. Also believed that Celtic priests or druids were able to make predictions about the future, which they did during like these huge, bonfire type events. It was originally called basically All Hallows Evening, and it got shortened to All Hallows Eve, which then got shortened to Halloween. So that's how we come up with the name Halloween. So basically there were like 3 holidays meshed into one. It was like All Saints Day, Samhain, and this All Hallows Eve. So come up with Halloween. Basically, what would happen is that, and from that, we had a lot of Irish and English, Scottish immigrants that came over in the 1800s, and they brought basically Halloween with them. Trick-or-treaters of the past were very different than what we have today with smiling kids and costumes. They practiced something called souling, and that's where poor people would basically beg for sweetbreads. In return, they would pray for the family's souls. And if you, basically the trick-or-treat comes from, like, if you didn't give them the treat, the breads or the sweetbreads, they would literally play a trick on you. So, like, you didn't really have the option, even though they say trick-or-treat, and, you have the option of one or two. And I always thought it was, like, they could give, they could play a trick on you or give you a treat, like when you say trick or treat, But the reality was, if you didn't give them the treat, then it wasn't going to be good for you. So anyway, the modern day version of Halloween didn't really come about until the 1930s. So I guess people were basically, I know there's 3 states in the United States that call it like Beggar's Day or something like that. Which stands to reason because people were basically begging for food on this night. And then 1930s it basically evolved into what we now recognize as little kids going around dressing up in fun, popularized costumes for candy. And another interesting fact is that it's the second highest grossing commercial holiday after Christmas. Pretty interesting. Who would think that? So it's big money for the economy too. People eat a lot of candy and give out a lot of candy. Everybody kind of buys into it, and it's understood that if you go out and get candy, people are going to come, and or kids are going to come hopefully and ask for it. But that's basically the history of Halloween. So we all learned a little something today that we didn't know. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow for 197. See you then.